Today I have some super fun and really easy shaker tags to share with you. Hello everyone, it's Kari and I have a few items here that we're going to use on our shaker tags. I have the new Funhouse diagonal stripe stencil and I'm going to show you how to make a plaid with that. I have this shaker tag die set along with the flock star stamps and dies, and then a bunch of sparkle mixes. I'm going to talk more about those in just a minute, but let's get started making our plaid backgrounds. I'm taking this diagonal stencil and I'm going to ink on some light lemon ink. This is some dye ink and look how nice and soft this is. I thought this would be a really pretty combination for spring. I've sprayed that with the pixie spray to keep the stencil down, and now I'm going to shift the stencil, turn it 90 degrees so that it kind of intersects the first set of diagonal lines. This is going to create our plaid. Now I'm using a light pink dye over that yellow, and here we have a beautiful spring diagonal look turned into a beautiful plaid. I'm also going to create one with blues and purples, and you'll see that later. But for now, I'm going to cut out these tag dies. These are from Heffy Doodle, and these are so awesome for creating shaker tags. Makes it so easy. So I cut the background out with just white cardstock and the front one with that plaid we just created. There's no sense in cutting them both out of the plaids because you're not going to be able to see that background anyway. We're going to end up coloring that or covering that up. And then I cut out a couple of them, and now I'm going to start coloring up these beautiful flamingos from the Flock Star stamps. I'm using some really bright shades of pink. That's so these will really stand out from the background, and they can also play well with that Tickled pink sparkle mix. It's a very bright kind of neon pink sparkle mix, and so when you color these up nice and bright, it looks so great together. So I'm just sharing how I colored this first one here. I'm going to color most everything off screen, but I thought you might want to see the coloring of one of these. I brought in some oranges for their feet. I'm just going to color all of those at once, and then I'm going to color their beaks a gray. So I'm using some cool grays to do that. Very, very simple coloring today, but very bright as well with that flamingo. So here they are all colored up, and I have my die cut machine, my mini die cut machine here. And so what I do is I like to cut these into strips so that I can just use that through my die cut machine. It's so nice to have this right here on my desk. I don't have to get up and go across the room to use my larger die cut machine. It just makes it so convenient. I'm using some Heffy tape to tape down those dies over the images so I can cut them all out at once. And this tape is really great for that because it's not going to rip your paper or pull up any of that coloring that you just spent so much time doing. I really love this tape. It's like a paper tape, but really light tack, so it's perfect for this. So I'll run that through the die cut machine. I'll run all those images through, and here are the images. I'm going to have plenty to play with and choose from as we build our tag shaker dies, and that's the way I like it. So as long as you're coloring things and images, you might as well cut out quite a few. Makes it really easy for building. Now here's the plaid I created with the blues and the purples. I did a nice light shade of those, and now I'm going to cut out the background tag, the full tag right here with some acetate. I'm using a dryer sheet here on these acetate sheets. That's so the shaker mix won't stick to the acetate. And before I put the acetate on, I'm going to glue on those plaid backgrounds by sticking that frame on the background tag and gluing that middle piece in. So you can see I'm just using that as kind of like to puzzle piece it in so that it's perfectly lined up. There we go, and then I can remove that frame. And now we're ready to start putting the acetate together on that frame. Now I'm using liquid adhesive. You could use score tape or any really strong adhesive. If you use liquid adhesive, I find it's best to let it dry completely before you move on to the next step. So I'm putting an acrylic block over the top to make sure those are nice and adhered and dry before I move on to this step here. Now this foam tape that I have here is the Heffy Doodle double thick foam tape. And I love this thickness of foam for shaker, anything you're making shaker. So whether it be shaker tags or shaker cards, because you don't have to double it up. It's already done for you. And that allows the sequins and the sparkle mix to be able to shake around in there very easily. I love this foam. I can't even say that enough. I love this foam. And so I'm just going to add a few pieces to the top there, and that's going to be ready to put onto the backer as soon as we get all of our foam tape put on. And then we're going to add the sparkle mixes to that. But before we do, I just kind of want to lay out my little scenes here, what they're going to look like. And I thought, since it's Easter, the day that this video goes live is Easter, I thought I'd do some Eastery tags. So we've got the flamingos. I did some eggs and one of those little bunnies from the Honey Boo set, this one here. And there's some great sentiments in both of these sets that you can use for your shakers. And you can put them wherever you want. You can die cut them out and put them on top. But I'm going to show you another idea for using these sentiments. Now I was showing you just there the die cuts for this little bow. It's so super cute. And I cut out all the pieces so that I can show you how this will fit together. And what I like to do is just kind of curl that paper, kind of get it going so that I can turn this into a bow. And I don't want to bend it because that'll just create a crease in the bow. And that's what we don't want. So just get that nice and curled. Use your bone folder or anything for curling that. And then I'm putting down a little glue dot there on each of the ends so that we can fold that bow in, and then we can wrap this long tail piece around just like so. And that's going to be the middle part of the bow. And I'm going to go ahead and get that put down with a glue dot as well. These are just mini glue dots. And then we have our bow just like that. I'm just going to kind of curl up these just a little bit more, just kind of make that a bigger bow. And then you have the option to do a tail just like that, or this one here you can fold and create longer tails. So you have two options for building your bow. Today I'm going to use this one right here, and I think it's going to look cute on the top of one of these just like that. Now you'll see that I've already cut out those hole reinforcers. This tag set has 4 different options, so you'll be able to see those as I'm putting those together. I love them all, and it's just so great. You have all these different tag looks that you can make. So this first shaker mix is the Cloud 9 Sparkle Mix. It's kind of got some purple tones to it, some iridescence. There are some gems in there, which are gorgeous. That's why they call these sparkle mixes. And that's when I fell in love with them. I didn't know that before. These have gems. So there we go. I'm just going to start gluing all these pieces together. And I'm going to glue the images to the front as well using liquid adhesive. You could pop these up with some foam tape if you want, but I figure since we already have that foam tape on the shaker tag itself, that these can be glued down and that'll work out perfectly. Look how cute that bow is. Now we can remove those backer pieces to the foam tape and then line that tag up on top of the background tag, just like so. And then you have the cutest little Easter tag. These are going to be perfect for Easter baskets or any kind of little spring gift. See how well the sequins shake around? For this second one, I'm going to use the Frozen Fractals Sparkle Mix to bring out the blues in that background. And you just need a little bit, and then you can kind of spread those out. So these sparkle mixes really go a long way. Look how cute that is. I love that little bunny with the flamingo too. Now this one is super happy. See how he's dancing? There are some of those music notes in the stamp set, along with the dies that coordinate to cut those out if you purchase those coordinated dies, so you can build the happiest little dancing flamingo. There's also a stereo or a boombox in that set. I didn't use it today, but I have used that before and I love it. So this is the Tickled Pink Sparkle Mix. And this one is the bright neon pink with some lighter pinks and whites and iridescence, sparkle sequins in there, and also some gems as well. So look at this. Here's our tags all put together. The only thing we have left to do now is add some ribbon or some twine and also a sentiment. So this is what I'm going to do. Since I've already put these all together, I cut out an extra background tag and I'm going to stamp the to somebody awesome. And I'm just going to glue that to the back, just like that. So your sentiment can be on the back. This is where you can write your to and from as well if you want. But look at that. A really simple way to add a sentiment if you forget to do that as you go along. I really do like to have the sentiment on the back though. And this one says, to my Flamazing friend. I did stamp the Flamazing out in a hot pink ink to match our shaker tag. There we go. And then we'll just go ahead and add our twine. So I've got a couple different shades of twine that I'm using. I have some pink for the pink ones and some purple baker's twine for the purple and blue plaid ones. And then for the pink ones, I went ahead and I'm tying them up with some seam binding as well, which is hot pink. And I thought that just looks so cute with the pink ones. So there we go. There's our tags. You see how simple these were to put together? When you have the right tools and the right materials, they are just so simple. I put these together in just a little bit of time, probably under an hour for all 4 of them. But I did have planned out what I wanted to do ahead of time, so that really helps as well. But look how cute, very simple, very easy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will link all of the supplies in the YouTube description below. So if you want to check those out, and I'll be back real soon with more card making inspiration. Bye-bye.